Go the family, the classic hits, 23 minutes past 10 o'clock. Ayanda Vinaka, and good morning. Thank you so much for your company. I trust you've been enjoying the music so far. And stay tuned for more just around the corner. But right now, I really am honored to have the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperations with me in the studio this morning, Mr. Solomara. Very good morning to you, Mr. Permanent Secretary, and thank you so much for availing the time to come down here, even though you have an engagement this morning.
Wame, and very good morning to your listeners. The privilege is also ours, as we value this exercise of interfacing and interacting with the public as an important element in our work. And it's one of the highlights of the current government's reform agenda, that the population of Fiji are aware of the policies being implemented in the various arms of government, and that the process of the reform agenda is clearly understood too. And this can only be achieved through this interaction with the public.
We're so thankful that you have that view, Mr. Permanent Secretary. We'll jump straight into the talkback this morning, and we're here really to talk about the ministry's Look North policy. Could you kindly elaborate more on that, Mr. Mar?
The Look North policy, in a nutshell, is the expansion of Fiji's foreign relations, diplomatic relations, beyond the traditional. Traditional being the Pacific Island countries, the Pacific Island region, including Australia, New Zealand, the Commonwealth, and selected UN governments like the United States, Canada. So the Look North policy is an attempt by the government to expand those relations beyond our traditional friends and countries here in the region. And we've been successfully doing this, Wame, and for last year alone, we established some 25 diplomatic relations. We formalized 25 diplomatic relations. But if I can also add, Wame, the government's Look North policy is not new in that sense. Previous governments have made these intentions known. But I think the only difference is that this government is taking the extra step to make that policy become a reality by operationalizing some elements of our Look North policy. Some of which you may have heard: the opening of the embassy in Jakarta,
right.
And you may have noticed the increased engagement between Fiji and Asia. Those are the manifestation of Fiji's Look North policy. But it's also not restricted to Asia in that sense. It also includes Eurasia. For the first time now, we have an accredited ambassador to the Russian Federation, and he's based in Tokyo now. So that too is part of our Look North policy. Very soon we will establish an embassy in Brazil to improve relations between Fiji and the South American continent. And this is the first time we are venturing out, outside of our comfort zone, I suppose. But it is our recognition that the world is becoming smaller, and for Fiji to maximize the benefits of globalization, we need to be where the action is. And the government has taken the decision to open 3 new missions this year. We've opened Jakarta. We are going to open Pretoria next in South Africa. Then Brasilia in Brazil.
Right.
Those, in a nutshell, Wame, is what encompasses Fiji's Look North policy.
I see. Before we continue, Mr. Mara, I just wish to tell the audience that if you have any questions to the Honorable Permanent Secretary, please feel free to call in the studio. Our phone lines are 3220-906 as well as 3220-907. 3220-906 and 3220-907. Mr. Mara, you were mentioning that, these relations were beyond the traditional relations that I suppose Fiji has been accustomed to in the past. Some people, though, have... how shall I put it? Some people are a bit hesitant with these relations, fearing that because when we establish these relations and they do grant us loans, they might have a political influence on Fiji. Is that the case? Or is that irrelevant?
Well, I think there's a tendency out there in the public, in the media, to try and interpret more than what is actually there in the relationship. The extension of loan or financial assistance does not in any way, in my opinion, grant the giving state any authority or any influence over the receiving state. Because the conduct of foreign relations is based on mutual respect for each other's country. But of course, when countries develop their bilateral relations, they will come to understand each other more closely, and inevitably the interests of those two countries will converge.
Right.
And I believe in that sense, some interpreters and political commentators have come up with a suggestion that yes, economic assistance or financial assistance tend to have this influence. But I, for my part, believe that whatever comes out of the process is the result of a growing understanding between the two countries.
I see. We were talking about this earlier, Mr. Permanent Secretary, with what was released in WikiLeaks last weekend around Thursday or Friday, with regards to what Australia was trying to do with the Vice President of China's transit through Fiji. Mr. Permanent Secretary, I know I had asked you this question before we went on air, but I wish to ask it again for the sake of our listeners. Do you think Fiji's relation with Australia and New Zealand might improve?
We are optimistic that it will improve with time. We are not surprised at all by the revelations by WikiLeaks, because we are aware that those countries, Australia and New Zealand, are engaged in the pursuance of their interests, often against the interests of Fiji. So we are not surprised at all. But the attempt to influence the Chinese to rethink about the bilateral relationship between Fiji and the People's Republic of China, in my part, is an exercise in futility on their part, given the strengthening of relations between Fiji and the People's Republic of China. As I was alluding to earlier, Wami, whilst we are not surprised by what was reported in WikiLeaks, we do not want to dwell on it too, because to us it's an insignificant component that we do not want to distract us away from the focus of our foreign policy and bilateral relations with China.
Right. Mr. Mara, just one more thing with regards to what's happening. I'm sure Australia already knows that China is trying to build relations with Fiji. Why do you think China is so interested in building a good relationship with Fiji?
Well, although we would want to make ourselves feel special by having an important member of the Security Council, the UN Security Council, like having a special relationship with us. But we need to have a reality check here. If you see, China is emerging as a global economic power and a political power, and if you see its activities in Africa, in South America, in other developing countries, we can see that we are not a special interest to them. We are part of its global agenda. But let me share this, Wame. China, as a developing country, has often in its foreign policy direction showed special care to other developing countries. Because I believe they understand the struggle that we go through as a nation, trying to find the right balance for our governance system. If you see, they've come a long way. And yet, like with the challenges of the global finance environment, they've been able to cushion that, the impact of the global finance that had hit the world from 2009. So the understanding often exhibited by China to developing countries, developing needs and aspirations is often a factor that attracts us to China, because they speak the language that we understand, and they demonstrate a facet of their foreign policy that draws developing countries to China. So we should be appreciative of this focus of China to Fiji. There have been numerous articles written in the media and academic discussions on this issue of China's interest in the Pacific Island region. Yes, Fiji, we cannot change the geography of Fiji. We are strategically located in the Pacific Island region, and by virtue of our location and our position as a regional hub, we will continue to attract special interest by developing partners and the world community, particularly the powerful ones.